All right, welcome race fans, Watermelons and Woodchips, episode 2. We've made it back another week down, and our first launch went pretty good, boys. I was pretty excited with the way the response that we got, and I got several messages and phone calls. I know Jonathan did, and I know you saw some stuff on the messages and stuff. So went pretty good for our first round, I thought.
I'd say so.
What are you laughing about?
I just, the stuff that comes with it. It's pretty cool. So thank you, everyone, for checking that first one out.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it went pretty good. We didn't know what to expect. And producer Garrett helped us out quite a bit on guiding us the way that we need to go. And that definitely helped. So we're eternally grateful for that, too. But, coming back from the last episode, we kind of left off with some Supernational stuff, but one thing we never really dug into because we got to talking and BSing about everything else, but we never actually talked about the event, like the racing part of Supernationals, and like looking back on that, because I still have notes from last week here, about stuff we were going to talk about, but the racing wise was really good all week.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, all the way through from the start of the prelude, and I know we had a little rain to contend with a little bit, but overall, I couldn't ask for better.
From a race car driver standpoint, I guess.
I've been coming here a long time, and to see some of the year how it's transitioned over the years and just the amount of racing that goes on and everything. Like if you sit back and look, like we said, it's just an organized chaos here. So for the racetrack to be able to hold up to that kind of stuff, over that with the weather, the amount of races on it, the amount of wrecks that are on it, was, I thought, it was actually better than maybe the past couple of years. And as racer racing on it, I'm just going to say some days it sucks because okay, we've been here since Friday. Mm-hmm. Okay, not me, but a lot of people, there's people coming in Fridays, even though Belinda, who will chew your ass.
Yeah.
I mean, she goes through a ton of work coming here to get ready for that week. So, yeah. And watching the race crew, and if you are a weirdo like myself and you look at the race surface and you watch it, go up and down from them bringing dirt on, us taking it off, them bringing it back on, that kind of stuff. It's really, really cool. And I think that, like I said, this year was a very good week for racing.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about the character that the racetrack acquired over in Turn 1, and there was a few instances that were kind of out of our control, right? Like if guys made contact right in that spot or whatever, then kind of catapulted a couple guys. But most of the stuff happened, I thought, down in Turn 3 and 4 where it was smooth and slick.
For sure, yeah, and sure enough, a couple of sport mods ended up coming out of Turn 4 and then stopping just before Turn 1, and then they got out and had a little chat. What'd y'all think of that?
Hey, from my perspective of wanting to sell tickets and promote races, I thought it was fantastic because you couldn't have asked for anything better. You like you said, Jerry has talked about it. If you're going to do it, and that's what I've told people in the drivers' meetings on a weekly basis, because we've had instances where guys are and it's just, they'll continuously get into stuff on the track, and then they got guys talking shit to each other on social media all week, and it's never ending sometimes, but I don't know, this one just kind of boiled over, and hey man, I thought it was good. It was a hockey style fight. Perry got in the middle of it. I actually bought Perry a referee shirt and printed Boone Speedway on the front of it.
Perfect.
So I got Perry hooked up. But hey, from my perspective, you guys might think different, but I thought it was awesome.
Did anybody see that and think? And I haven't talked to either one of them to know this. Did anybody see it and then think in Dustin Lynch's mind when he got out, oh, this sumbitch is big.
Bannister.
He's a big
Bannister's
boy.
big dude, yes.
And he's a big teddy bear too.
Yeah.
Is he?
My encounters with Bannister, I'm a Tyler Bannister fan. I
I've
was
always got
not
along
a
with him.
Tyler Bannister fan the day before this incident happened, because it was a similar incident. Well, as far as bad dog no biscuit for the driver, but it also ended another driver's night. Pretty early, but Dustin Lynch, local hero here in Boone, Iowa, races here and only races here. Maybe gets out. Bob and Deanna are some of the nicest people.
Yeah, for sure.
But they have supported the Boone Speedway for a long time. And what I admired about that the most was how much TV time. Skeeter Paris is like 1996, I believe. I could totally be wrong. One of the Nosts or Dustin could correct us on that. But that was cool, okay?
Yeah.
And so for them to do that on the front stretch, I think it kind of, Pear Dog, he's been here a long time. I don't know when was the last time he took one to the chin. Even accidentally, like he's right in the middle. I'm thinking like, but they both have all their safety gear on. He's in there, skinny dipping, nothing on his head.
Right.
Don't even have the headset on, did he? I mean, or it got knocked off.
I think it got
maybe.
knocked off. But I can see, go in there and watch the video because IMCA TV had one. And then I think the DC Media kid had one. And like his was like right head on, right? I think he was sitting in the stands. You could see it. And like you said, Perry's in there and he's like pushing. You could see him like trying to push those guys apart. And then he's like, ah, shit, I'm getting out of here. Like, well, then he took a stray.
took a stray. Boys, Tyler Bannister and Dustin Lynch, you will be receiving a bill for the headset. It was damaged. So when you guys receive that, you can go ahead and either bring that at registration in Frostbusters, or you can go ahead and mail that in.
And we take Venmo now too. So if you need, we're very accommodating.
We're
that
very
way.
robotic around here. That's
right.
That's right. Answering machine stuff. Yeah. Okay. But back to that. What an ordeal, The thing of it is how I take it as a racer, because I've never, fist fought on the racetrack, but I think that things have changed a little bit. Growing up at the racetrack, when something like that happened, when we're on the track, we're racing. Mm-hmm. This is a contact sport.
Yeah.
In a roundabout way. Like, we
100%.
are out there ripping around the racetrack, trying to go as fast as we can to beat the other guy. I mean, how many times you guys been to the go-kart track? And, I mean, you think we get pissed off in this?
No.
I would not even be allowed in any of those sanctions.
Yeah.
Because they're already hitting each other and taking each other out while they're taking pace laps.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it as when the sport is in trouble, when the racer is done being upset about an altercation that happens on the racetrack.
100%, because then they don't care, right?
Right.
Like, you want them to care. Like, you want them to show like the raw emotion. And, like I said, that happens so fast. And the funny part was like, so I was coming up to see Josh. I came around the back side on the golf cart, or to the front side on the golf cart, and I'm walking through, and I think it was like Caden Reynolds and Tony Olson were like standing up watching one of the races, and they come walking through, and I'm like kind of hoofing it up to the tower, and they're like, hey, you might want to go get your boys there. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I go out there, and those two cars are like nose up against the fence, and you see Dustin just huffing and puffing, and his helmet's ripped off. And so then I go upstairs and watch the replay, and I'm like, oh my God, this shit's awesome. Like, this is fantastic. Like, so I'm just, I thought it was great. But like you said, you have to care.
Right. Well, and the thing is I am a huge, this has been me since 2013. If we have an altercation on the racetrack, I'm coming to your pit. I'm not coming there to fight. I'm coming there to ask you, what were you doing? Or tell you, hey, I drove way over my head, and I'm an idiot and I ran into you. I know it doesn't change the circumstance, but that was my fault. Mm-hmm. And I learned that from... I mean, when there was no cell phones, all you had was the Hawkeye paper. People did that. Like, people could talk about it,
yes,
like men, and then drink beer. That's another thing that's changed over the years. Is This racetrack, the lights used to, I mean, the light bill used to be way more expensive. So, Josh, I know we're in the green on that because the racetrack lights were on till 3, 4, or till the sun came up.
Yeah,
Yep.
Back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Used to have pulling truck stuff over there. Oh, shit. I thought I turned it off. It's my mother. We used to hook pickup trucks.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing where I'm going with this is nobody was fighting.
Right.
Unless you were a complete idiot or, you know, you were just looking for it. I mean, people didn't really technically, I mean, there were fist fights. I mean, we used to go to the fairgrounds on Friday night. Josh knows.
Yeah.
You know, Cody knows.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so it's like, but people frown upon that now. Like, you can't even, it's like you can't even go have a conversation with the driver. Like, let's all be for real. All of us drivers down the infield, like, when we're down there, even whether it's good or bad, we're talking to each other.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, because,
Right.
like, we do have to race with these people, and I do like most of the people that I race with. So it's not like it's just this first time that we're meeting, you know.
Yeah.
Which, however, with Bannister and Dustin Lynch,
It probably was.
that was probably the first time because, you know, TB lives West Coast.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, it's just, yeah. Not that the nightlife part, going back to that part of it, you know, like you said, that it was cool, like when you'd hang out and, you know, socialize with other people. You'd be with the guy next to you in your pits and hang out, but everybody peels out, and which is a different time. You know what I mean?
It is. It is. But I think it's pretty cool because we all lived in that era of, you know, but also too, I feel like so many fans used to come to the pits,
Yeah.
you know, and get stuff where now, well, I can just get on my phone and buy it, which doesn't bother me. I mean, it's the time, things have changed.
In the, you know, the one thing that I've always tried to kind of figure out, but it's hard to do, is logistically connect our grandstand side to the pit side, because we are so separate at our place, where a lot of other places you have quick access to the pits.
Yeah.
We're here, it's a little more difficult. It's good for the flagmen, right?
Yeah.
That it is
Big L.
Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, it is good for Big L that it is you know, separate. But yeah, just trying to figure out that, not necessarily a disconnect, but it kind of is, like trying to get that fan engagement after the races. And, you know, we try to run a super efficient show as much as we can so that we can create that environment. But,
Yeah.
you know, it's hard when you have 160, 180, you know, salute to veterans, 200 and some cars, like
Yeah.
on a weekly show. So
Yeah,
by
when you're
that time,
pushing
it's,
multiple B mains through this thing,
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing everything we can on our side to make sure everything's as efficient as it can be. And yeah, sometimes, and you have nights where you have some wrecks and it slows things down. You know, for the most part, we keep everything on a tight ship.
well, yeah. And then, like I said, I just try to create that fan engagement that way, you know? But yeah, and, you know, back to, like I said, to the fighting part, I guess we did have a couple instances during the season, you know, and with stuff going on in the pits, and that just drives me bananas. Like, I get it, and I guess it drives me bananas from the point that, like, I have to deal with it, right? Like, I don't want it to be dangerous, but I also know it's almost like a checks and balances, though, for, like, it's like self-governing.
It is.
You know?
It's also a little bit like an adult daycare.
100%.
At times,
Yes.
it can be.
And that's what I told those guys in a couple drivers meetings, is I'm not here to run an adult daycare. I know that's part of the job and I have to do it. But, like, you know, I don't want to deal with, I don't want to have to, like, babysit people.
Right. But in your guys' defense, we are grown-ass men.
Yes.
For the
You
most
know,
part.
I'll just say this. People are always worried about the women and children.
Right.
And not that that's a bad thing, but we're men. You know, it's the nature of it.
Right.
I mean, we put the time in. You don't have to punch somebody.
Right.
Words are way worse.
Yeah.
Because it makes you think about it. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, if you can throw down one good one-liner on somebody in the middle of a heated thing, they don't forget about it. So I think stuff like that is good because it's
I
so
agree.
a lot of people frown upon it.
Well, and that's right. What I was trying to get at, I guess, is like, yeah, the part I don't like is having to deal with it. Like, but I do think it's good because there again, it shows that people care.
It's a necessary evil.
Right.
100%.
It's like it's the same reason why I can't be at the softball field or my daughter doesn't play softball anymore, because there are winners and losers. And we forget that. You want to win? Get your ass off the couch. Stand up for what you're doing. You know, like if somebody, I mean, and I've been there. I've flat ass taken people out, you know, and it was just because of a circumstance on the racetrack. And then I'm always the first one down there. And anybody, that goes for anybody. I mean, they should be able to know that just come to my pit. We'll talk about it. Hug it out. I mean, I'm fine with it.
And you know what's funny is, this reminds me of a story. The first year that I got into doing this, it was the 4th of July, and there was an altercation between my best friend and my boss. There was only modifieds there that night. And I think had we had other classes there, it probably would have prevented them from seeing each other.
I'm sure it would have. I'm positive it would.
Right. And there was nobody in between them. So they thought that they needed a jaw, and they got closer and closer and closer, and then they're rolling, and then Lottie laughs at me and he goes, "Well, what are you going to do, bud? Your new job now.
Time to deal with it, bud."
Yep. And, you know, but, you know, it just, we followed protocol on that. You know, whoever went down there, and that's always been the rule. If you go to somebody's pit and a fight ensues, doesn't matter who started it.
Yep.
Whoever went down to their pit is the one that is gone.
It's a pretty universal rule, and it's about as fair as it gets. But there are times when a Jonathan will go down to visit somebody and somebody goes
haywire,
berserk,
right?
And all he's trying to do is smooth it out, and so it's not necessarily his fault, but
right.
It's tough. I mean, those are the things that, you know, on the fan side of it, they don't get to see that. You know, I work at a couple other tracks where the fans can turn around and look and see that, so it's a little tougher here, but they can definitely tell when there's a bunch of movement at once. Something's going on.
Right.
And there might be.
Well, let's be honest. Velvet lips don't miss much. If there's movement in the pits, he's on the secret channel going, "What's going on, boys? What's going on? I got to talk about it. Come on.
Yeah. And then he's usually, there was one, I don't even remember what night it was, but I missed the whole Mod Light feature because people were fighting in the pits. And I come running out. I don't even have my ears in to like listen to Jerry, and they hand me a microphone, and I have no clue what happened. And I'm like, "Jerry, I really don't know what happened." And he's like, "Oh yeah, people back there rolling," or whatever he was talking about. And yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, it is, to our point, it is a necessary evil. I just hate having to deal with it. Like, you know, Lottie always tells Brett, "Don't neuter my pits, my pit area."
Yeah.
And I 100% believe in that. Like, you have to, and there's times where Lottie and I had to go talk to people this year, and he's like, "You guys got to self-govern, but like, if we got to step in, it's going to be way worse."
Yep.
So,
and he's been consistent with that for a long time.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? There's been a lot of tracks that do that and have people, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, you know, when you go up to somebody that's pissed off, I mean, you just don't know what's going to really happen in that encounter, you know? And I think a lot of the racetracks that we've been at, like, you know, Corey Drips, Vinton, hockey rules. You know,
100%.
Don't go to any of my officials. If you guys have a problem. And I don't know if there's been a fight over there. And I know he's been promoting that for a few. G, do you know how many years he's been promoting that? But that's always been the rules over there, and it's never happened. So it's like, you know, controversy is good, whether it's good or bad.
yeah.
It's always good. So, and I think that, you know, if a lot of people knew some of the history that's gone on at this place, way older than my time.
And when I first started, Lottie told me, he goes, "Doesn't matter what they're saying about you, just make sure they spell Malika with 2 L's.
Right.
So,
Well, you know,
I mean,
Lottie.
yeah. I mean, it's you know, but that's the way he's always taken that. Well, and obviously you talk about the fairgrounds and some other things.
Yes.
I mean, that dude, he used to incite fights just to sell tickets the next week.
Well, right. But you guys remember when he had Marshalltown, he had Boone, he had Des Moines,
Mason
he had
City.
Stewart, Jefferson, Mason City. He had all these tracks at one time. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, my dad's told me stories that he literally, Lottie, kick anybody's ass. Watched him get punched off his four-wheeler one time. There's, he's been through a lot of stuff. So I think that's kind of why maybe some of the rules are the way they are.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and part of that, too, is the people that work for him. That's why they're so dedicated. They've been with him for so long, through thick and thin, chasing him all over the place. Like, even out of state, World of Outlaw shows, whatever. So
right.
Lottie's got his own following that way, too.
Yeah, we got to go to break here, but we got to find a way to get him to come in here and talk with us within the next couple before he goes down south. We got to get him in here, and I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. So that dude's got a lot of stories. There's a lot of things that people don't know about Lottie and the things that he he's been involved in. And actually, I texted you, so I'm reading the new Steve Kinzer book that Dave Argabright wrote, and it's fantastic. And Steve Kinzer's been my hero. Obviously, Jonathan and I, we spent many hours playing video games in my room, and it was everything was green. I had green trim, whatever.
Good taste.
Yeah, for sure. And Lottie did get mentioned in the Steve Kinzer book about being he was one of the top promoters for the World of Outlaws during the 80s. So
that is
pretty big
nostalgic as shit.
Yeah.
Like that hopefully we can get him here because he shouldn't have anything to bitch at me about because the race car hadn't been here in 3 months. So we really do need to work on that. That'd 100%. Be cool as shit.
Yeah, but hey, let's go to break here. We got our fancy clock going, so we know when to start and stop at this point.
We're moving on up.
Yeah, that's right. But next segment's going to be presented by Logue Fabrication and P1P Canopy. But when we get back, we'll get back into some more Super Nationals talk on watermelons and wood chips. This next segment is brought to you by Logue Fabrication, your go-to shop for custom metal fabrication. From residential and commercial projects to auto racing applications, Logue Fabrication delivers quality and precision every time. They're not just fabricators, they're racers too. Proud home to Rage Hobby Stock and stock carts you see tearing up Boone Speedway every week. Whether you need a custom railing, a commercial build, or race-ready metalwork, trust the team at Logue Fabrication to get it done right. Logue Fabrication, where craftsmanship meets horsepower. We can help you stand out anywhere with P1 Promotions, the home of P1P Canopy. From the racetrack to the ball fields to trade shows and beyond, our custom pop-up canopies are built to showcase your brand in style, with multiple sizes and full customization available. But we don't stop there. P1 Promotions also delivers custom rugs, apparel, sportswear, trade show setups, and even P1P custom awards that make an impact. You can see all we have to offer at www.p1pcanopy.com. All right, welcome back from the break. We're back here on episode 2 of Watermelons and Wood Chips. And we were talking about we went on a tangent about extracurriculars at the racetrack. But let's get into the IMCA Super Nationals big dances. We haven't really talked about those much. Obviously we have, like I said, the racing was fantastic, in my opinion, with maybe the exception of the hobby stock feature, but we'll get into that. Yes. But, we started the week off with the Prelude and crowned the Mod Lights, and John Padilla was our winner there. And like you said during the break, he's gotten faster and faster.
He has. He came to Marshalltown, I think, last year, all year, and it just seemed like every night he was clicking up a little bit more. And then, this year, and I know everybody sees the 46 roll in, they're like, game over. But it's not quite that anymore. That class has gotten better. They put on some good racing. Every once in a while they get a little tumble happy. But they do. They put on some good races. And, Austin Gray was one I thought for sure. He was on a heater there for a while this year. But John, he got control of that thing and didn't let go.
Well, and like you talk about Austin Gray, we go back to his weekly achievements here at Boone Speedway. I think he was our racer of the year I think he won like 7 features
He
or
won
something.
a lot.
So he was fast in the 48. But yeah, like you said, Padilla was really good.
Very consistent.
Yeah, and but a lot of those guys were moving through the field really during that race. And yeah, because we had to go to a day race, right?
Yeah, you had to go to Monday. Yep, and you could see it in their faces too. They're like, "Well, we're gonna get a slick track." I mean, some of those guys love that stuff. So,
you talk about that mod light class. Worked on them a few times in the fab shop. The cockpit in those things are the same size as a big car.
Mm-hmm.
Now it doesn't look like that because of how short and compact they are, and that's why they get a little tumbly every once in a while. But I mean, those things are built like a shit brick house.
yes, they are.
And they are faster than the modifieds.
Mm-hmm.
And not a lot of people know that. I mean, they're cranking them things 15, 16,000. I mean, I could be way off on that, but they're crotch rocket motors. So I know that they're over 10.
They're screaming.
At times, right?
Yeah, they're screaming.
They've got, I mean, if you haven't actually looked at one, I mean, they're I'm not feminine or anything, but they're like, they got these little quick changes in them. Like they're really, really cool car. And the class is like, when you and I were kids, there was the dwarf cars, and we did the finger dance. Are they still doing the finger dance?
I don't think so.
Why are we not doing the finger
They're not
dance?
the dwarf
forgot.
cars, probably.
I forgot about the
Because
finger dance.
it was the dwarfs.
Does not matter. That's like if you took away the modified sound for the feature, what are we doing?
right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why did we take away the finger dance?
Producer Garrett, look, he's not understanding, Jonathan.
I mean, I'm just saying, like that was when they would run the old style coupes, and to talk about some drivers that are up and coming. Cliff Barber's kid.
Oh man,
Garrett.
Yes.
That I mean, Cliff Barber was
He started on the pin of the big dance.
right, and I believe
after a banger qualifier.
Oh,
Yes.
they built that car. Cliff was an OG Dorf car driver.
Oh, yeah.
Very fast, very good. Him and Jason Toppenberg used to put on phenomenal show. Jim Dog, Mad Dog Cooper, the old 00.
I gotta say, and Cliffy, one of the most stand-up dudes. He is such a good guy.
Awesome.
He is a great guy.
Such a good guy.
Great guy. Actually, he got a door put in his shop. Sorry to get sidetracked here, but he put a door. This is how cool of a guy is. The door store, Ducky, went to his shop and put a door in, and he was like, "Hey, aren't you on, Logue's crew or whatever?" So then it just started this whole thing. Like, it was just cool, like that's what type of people they are. But that Garrett, I mean, I was really cool to see the transition though too of these cars over the years to what they are now. And I think it's a really awesome thing that IMCA has sanctioned that class.
Yeah.
And it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger every year at Super Nationals.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think there was a couple guys up there. Like obviously, I think Padilla's from Illinois.
Yep.
And
What
then,
number is he?
11P.
11P.
Yeah.
He was pitted right across from us.
Yeah.
He's a windmiller.
Okay.
Oh,
Cool,
really?
dude. Yeah. We had the big speaker up, and they were
yeah.
bringing over playlist and shit for us. It was cool. They are. I don't know people by their name, by their race car number, but they like a turquoise white 11P.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super cool,
Yeah.
dude. Real
Yep.
skinny guy.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and you talk about the evolution of that, and now with them sanctioning it, you had guys from New York in the top 4, and the East Coast guys and Delaware. I know it's the mod lights are strong out that way, Delaware and New Jersey and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
That tells you that they're savage. We got guys coming from New York. I mean, I
Right.
know it's the Super Nationals, but that's
Right.
cool.
Yeah.
And one quick mod light story. So we, when I worked for Hoosier, we were at Roaring Knob in Pennsylvania. It was a racetrack. Actually, the guy that I lived with for a short time, he owned the Roaring Knob complex, and we had to go do like a late model race out there, service the tires and stuff. And I'm walking through the line to go through the pit lane or the pit entrance, and Colby Obremt and Josh May were standing in line, and I'm like,
really?
What are you doing here? You guys are 17 hours from home.
Pretty random.
They're like, well, Marshalltown rained out. So they drove 17 hours.
Just headed east.
Yeah, to Western.
Damn.
Wow.
Like over
yeah.
It was crazy. But
crazy.
anyways, we're pretty good at getting sidetracked
Yes,
on
we
this
are.
deal, but we're trying to stick to our list. So next was the Sport Compacts, and Dylan Richards picked up the win, and that dude's been, he's been dominating the hobby stock class in Nebraska right now, and then he just put an ass whooping on those guys in the Sport Compacts.
I think we could probably talk for a while on the whole points deal, the national points deal. I'm not going to get sidetracked on it too much, but the dude won 45 races or something like that. Like, it's almost a shame that he's not going to win it, but it's the point system, and I do like the way it's set up. It rewards some guys for racing and being local, and so I don't want anybody to think that I don't like the point system. I do. It's just a shame the guy wins that many races, and he's probably not going to win it. But for him to jump into a Sport Compact, to get in a banger, and do what he did, like he dominated that thing.
Yeah, he just. Yeah, and those guys were all pumped up, and I know his wife races as well. So, and that thing was cool looking. Like it had the metallic orange paint job and stuff, and yeah, he just went and put it on him.
Yep.
Not very many husband-wife racing duos that I personally know of. So that is kind of a cool deal. Dylan also dominated in that IMCA hobby stock too. Dylan, there's a lot of controversy with Dylan Richards, and I'm a Dylan Richards fan sometimes, and I'm not a Dylan Richards fan sometimes. But at the end of the day, the kid races hard.
He does.
And people forget that. He's hungry all the time, and that's what makes him a good racer. And he races a ton, and I think he's got a bright future. Looks like he picked up maybe a stock car ride for the 2026 season. So congratulations to Dylan on that. Jet Racing doing their due diligence, or however you say that word. I think I screw that up all the time, but whatever. You guys know what I mean.
Sounded spectacular.
Right. They getting him, into the next level of class, and I don't think he'll probably be able to race the Sport Compact with a stock car license. I don't know that for sure.
I don't think so.
That's also good, because then it gives, the next guy the opportunity to go out and, dominate that class, or, look to do what he did.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And like I said, cool that he's got the stock car ride put together, and I think he's going to do some good things with that too.
He won't be slow.
No.
I see wins coming for him.
Okay, so that moves us to late models. I guess I jumped over. I'm just reading my list as we go. But Jesse Sobbing wins the IMCA late model portion. And I think that's the first one that he's won in anything. And there were years where he was like dominant in the sport mod deal, and like just had heartbreak, or something happened, or maybe he was a little too aggressive at some point, because he was, like I said, in the sport mod deal, he was fast.
Sobbing aggressive?
Right.
Crazy.
That's wild, isn't it? Jonathan, did you ever run against him in the sport mods?
We never raced together in the sport mods. That was before my racing days, but we've rubbed fenders in the old stock car class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But, looking back on that, and I didn't even know this at the time, but I saw Wayne Becker's car out there, and I didn't even put two and two together that Cody Thompson was actually in that thing. And didn't he start?
Either.
Yeah, didn't he start like in 21st?
He was deep.
And drove up to. He took the lead.
He did.
And then I think he said the thing started to blow up
She
on him.
started coming apart.
He started getting really hot and seizing ups and slowing down. So, yeah, those things don't like to generate power when they get that hot, do they, Bobcat?
No. When we're going around there with the tongue hanging out, on lap 27 or whatever it is, it makes you think about it. But I can tell you one thing. A lot of us don't go, well, we all go, there's only 3 laps left, baby. Come on. So, I didn't realize I was in one of Cody's heat races. I didn't even realize he was in there.
Right.
Or that he was, he raced a late model, a modified, and a stock car.
Yeah.
Right.
Not a lot of people have done that. We've seen that
With Dilly.
With Dilly. We've had a lot of people race, 2 classes, but three's a long week.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure. And like I said, he was just tickled shitless when we talked to him, and that I'm like, he got out. I'm like, holy God, I didn't realize that you were driving that thing. And he was just driving the crap out of that thing and got to the front. And, but also good for Jesse to get one finally, because the dude's been close several times.
For sure. And after his interview with Wade, I think, he deserved something. So
I actually want to thank Jesse's wife for pushing him to come here, because that was
he said he wasn't coming, and she made him come to the races.
Right. I feel like, you see them together everywhere racing, great people, been around the racing thing for a long time, and his there's not very many times that you can put somebody on the spot and make them not even say anything. So
especially Wade.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, he's got a lot of good one-liner stuff.
He does.
You guys remember the time though that he was calling me a completely different name?
He did?
The first time we ever met, yeah. Chris, I'm going to lean on Chris Cox on this one, because I know he has the video. But he's talking to me the whole time and saying the wrong name, thought I was a completely different driver. And so for sobbing, and second of all, Wade, the flamingo thing, great idea. I thought it was awesome. But while you're over, down under, whatever, we need you. You've got to come up with a different shakalaka. I'm saying it right now. I'm calling you out right now. I know you can do it, but that's your task for next. Well, he only comes here once a year, don't he?
Yeah. For 2 months or something. I mean, he's here for a while.
Right.
What do you want to hear?
I don't know.
Bobcat shakalaka?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
It's just got to be something. I know he came up with the Boone shakalaka thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I know he's talented enough to come up with something else. Oh, yeah. We kind of touched on that. There's got to be new things. So we've used it for 3 years.
It's time. Time to add to it, or
Time.
Yeah. Okay. You're on Bobcat's watch, buddy. Come on, Wade.
Right. So for sobbing to shut Wade down, that was awesome.
That was pretty
good
good.
job, Jesse sobbing.
Hey, and I do got to say about Jesse too. He is one of the nicest guys at registration. He is so nice and polite to us at the table, which most everybody is. They really are.
It's only because he thinks that if he's nice to you, you guys might press the button. We all
It'll
know.
help.
We all know that draw button is horseshit.
You're the one hitting it. What?
I mean, yeah, but okay. So on the back side of it, this is a question.
Oh,
on the back side of this, are you seeing the numbers spinning?
Nope.
No.
Or so it's just totally up to the computer.
It literally, when you hit that button, it stops a random number generator, and there it is. That's how it works. I'm telling you.
I don't like it.
Well,
I think the bingo balls, was a cool thing.
it is. But let me give you just a little backside or from the behind the curtain stuff.
Okay.
If we do that, we're gonna have to open draw at 6 a.m. because it just makes it so much longer. It really does take a lot more time. When we did the mulligan, right, for the prelude, it took a lot of time. And last year hardly anybody did it, so it reduced
Sped
it
up
enough.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. But okay, then the redraw stuff at the special events.
The Boone Spoons.
We love the Boone Spoons.
Yep.
Okay, but these other racetracks have gone to the automated draw thing.
Yeah.
I, as a driver, we're already sometimes, this isn't a jab at all the racetracks, but there are times where we're just out there blowing time.
Understood.
Why can't us try? I like to go up, and even if I draw the 12, and I'm pissed about
Which
it.
you're good at doing, by the
I
way.
am very good at doing that. Everybody's like, my dad's always like, oh yeah, front row. I'm like, bud, we've been 12 for 3 months.
Yeah.
He draws a 10, he's happy.
Right.
Well, and there'll be times where I'll come on the radio and tell Josh and Sarah, like, hey, I want to do spoon draw tonight. Just because I like it. And I like talking to the guys. And seeing their reactions too is usually good. Like
It's
that's
like when you pull back to your trailer, like whenever I pull the number one, I hate it because I hate starting on the front row because you're just that sitting duck. Everybody talks about it. But when you get back to the trailer, everybody's like, ooh, what'd you draw? And sometimes you got to be like, well, don't know. It's going to be computer draw. And then my guy's always like, well, we'll be 5th, 6th row, you know? And then so like when I come back in and I draw the one, I'll be like, I drew the one. And they're all like, oh, man, you know? Like,
Do you go, we're racing?
Racing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And you know, we were trash all year. Not trash, but we just struggled.
You won.
We did win. But we started up front and we'd always drive back to like 6, 7. Isn't that this new trend thing? Like, what is up with that? Okay, sorry I even brought that in here, but I've been hearing it from my kid for 2 weeks.
Oh,
Okay?
mine too.
I'm like,
6, 7.
I've already emailed the school and been like, okay,
What
enough's
the hell?
enough. You know, like, I don't know if we got to come up there and figure it out or what, but this whole 6, 7 thing has gone bonkers.
Is it in a song? Is that what I'm hearing? I don't know.
From what I can find, it doesn't really mean anything.
It means shit. It doesn't mean anything.
It's annoying.
As my child tells me that it means that's what I do. I'm like, it's stupid.
Yeah.
But then I catch myself always being so. What's weird about it? It's like, you know, we'll go into like, oh, well, that was like 6 or 7 years ago. It's like, God damn, why did I do that? You know. Anyway, back to
So you started on the pen, you drove that thing all the way to 6, 7.
right. And so then when I come in, I'm pissed. I'm like, you know, but it's like, oh yay, we drew the one. You know, like don't really care about that.
So what do you want to draw? What's your ideal?
like I like, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
8, 9.
No,
10,
I mean 8's not
11.
bad because you're still you're 4th row in.
You get
or
a good,
out. You're 4th row out.
You're getting a look at what people are doing. You're seeing lines. You're able to race.
Yeah, and you know, like let's be for real. When you go to a special, and you know, you have guys that are just good. That you know everybody that gets in, you know, you have stuff happens. You know, you get wrecks and stuff, and you get your random guy that's normally not there. Mm-hmm. Which I like that because it mixes it up, and you know, those people need to be in the mix of things.
Sure.
You know, so it's nice because you do get to see kind of what's going on, but at the same time, it's like, well, I'm thinking like, well, shit. I mean, I'm starting 4th, or I'm starting 4th row, and I've got, you know, Be Rich. I've got Austin Miners, or, you know, on a redraw show here, or a Jake McBurney, or a Jake Masters, or a Jesse Sobbing, or whatever. And it's like, you know, let's be for real. There wasn't a lot of races this year that one particular driver that went to any of these shows really dominated. Mm-hmm. You know, Dallin did that a couple of years ago. But so it's like when you get there, it's like, oh, I mean, back to there's some iron here.
Yep.
You know, and like that goes back to some of these big dance races. The racing was good, but in some of the races, there wasn't much passing. But that's because
Everybody good was up front.
everybody good starts up there, and you race all week to put yourself in that position.
Yep.
Topless Joe's texting me. He's wanting to know when the next one drops.
He should be picking beans.
He was listening
Okay,
to us in
all
his
right.
combine. He sent me a Snapchat. It was pretty cool to see. But all right, moving forward, we go to the hobby stocks, and man, I was about ready to get my sundial out for that one, but the end of the race was good. Lunenburg and Dozer, the last few laps was great. Getting to that point, I mean, we had so many cautions that the freaking grill started on fire in the pits.
Yeah. Yeah. So
did you see that?
Yeah.
The drone was flying over the top of that thing.
Right. Like,
it got wild.
right. What was the old wild thing?
Yeah.
You know, it was a wild thing in the hobby stock class, but it goes back to this. You got all these good drivers that are in there, and the racetrack's racy. Mm-hmm. And when the racetrack's racy, shit's happening. Mm-hmm. And let's be for real. We're 3 wide.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if, you guys haven't necessarily ever started 3 wide, but it gets spicy.
It's spicy from the get-go.
Right.
Like,
and hobby stocks are already spicy because they're in there and they're wheeling and cheeling. And,
yeah, your lock-to-lock is this.
Right.
Their lock-to-lock is...
Right.
Yeah, you got to have the knob off your tractor.
Right.
Yeah, that's why Topless Joe does what he does.
Uh-huh.
He's on it, bud.
Yeah. But like, and usually we don't obviously talk about what's said on the race receivers sometimes, but like that Grant was so funny during that race. Like he was like, guys, you're making us look like idiots.
Yeah.
Like, and this is after like 35, 40 minutes, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then he comes right back and he's like, drivers, I apologize about my frustration. Can we please just try to get it together and put on a good show to finish this race? And I was just dying. I'm like, oh, that's like Grant to a T,
It
like,
is.
but he wasn't like screaming at him or
No.
anything, but it was just like, guys, you guys are making us look horrible. And then he's like, you know what? I'm sorry. Shouldn't have said that.
For Grant, he was giving it to him. That's giving it to him for him. He doesn't necessarily do that.
There's no time limit.
Not for
Probably
not for a
Why?
dance.
Why
I mean,
though? Why? That's a rule that's implanted over the whole course of the ever.
You don't want to cut your biggest race of the year short. Obviously, I know, like, at this point, though, like, we're
that's what I'm
we're
saying.
talking, like, all right, well, we'd already gone to single file, I think, at that point, single file restarts. And, yeah, like, and then, it's funny because Brett and I were talking about this later in the night. We're like, we got to cut these mod introductions and whatever.
Right.
And he's like, I don't know why. I'm like, well, yeah, because it's the hobby stock feature took an hour. And he's like, oh, yeah, you're right.
yeah,
Like,
and that's in the hobbies is that was my class, right? So that every time they roll out, they have a special place in my heart. They always will.
Yep.
But I got to look into the camera on this one and do a bobcat. Boys, take a breath. You don't get 30-lap features very often, okay? So when you do, take a damn breath and just race. Just drive long laps for 5, 6, 7, 8. You'll be surprised. If you actually get to race, you might move forward.
Well, right, but how many laps do they get on a normal show? Is it 15?
15 to 20. 15's a good average for
I was going
hobbies.
to say,
It
right,
is.
and that's basically about everywhere surrounding
Yes.
tracks.
Yeah, so you're double.
You're double.
You're double. Plus you're 3 wide. Like, again, boys, I know you can race 3 wide. I've seen it.
Okay,
Just-
but in our defense, though, too, here, hold on. Sometimes, shit breaks.
Oh, for sure.
Yes. So, guys, I get it a little bit.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'm with these guys on this. Like, get it together.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, what are
you
we
should be
doing?
rolling into Saturday night, and I did it once. You've done it a lot of times. You should be rolling into Saturday night as in good a shape as you've ever been for a car. You made the show on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. You got a couple days to work on your stuff. Get it right. I know stuff breaks. I watched Skylar Pruitt pull on the track and his left front wheel. I mean, it fell apart.
crazy. That was insane.
Just a wild thing. Thank God that didn't happen going down in turn 1.
Right.
Well, right.
Right. So stuff happens.
Yep.
But yes, guys, you're my class. Let's do it. Next year, green to checkered. Let's do it, boys.
But it's weird like that, though, too, because there'll be times where it's like the modifieds, everybody's like, oh, the sport mods, they have all these cautions, blah, 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 blah. Modified guys ain't it. They're just as bad. No,
They
no
can
offense,
be.
modified guys.
Yep.
I'm just saying there's certain times of the year that it's crash city.
Yeah.
It's same for any class,
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Sometimes it just kind of happens. Like maybe you guys should quit racing on like Friday the 13th.
Well,
Like
maybe.
that's a thing.
Now, I do recall a Super Nationals feature during the day on a Sunday a couple years ago in the stock cars that really reminded me of that hobby race, and you know what I'm talking about.
Well, the sport mod wasn't much better, I know, because I was leading it.
Yeah.
And I was going every time like, what are we doing? It's one lane around the bottom. It's 97 degrees. We're sweating. It sucks. They did the best they could. The racetrack went from the top to the bottom. I mean, I like it because I'm in the lead.
Right.
But at the same time, you're thinking about restart like Dylan Nelson. Like, bud, way to hold your composure.
Oh,
The entire time through
Yeah.
all those cautions, because
sure.
that's probably one of my biggest downfalls is I'll start looking over here and seeing what the boys are doing. instead of really focusing in on what I'm doing.
Your ADD takes over.
Well, it's because, but also too, it's because the racetrack at that time we're on pace lap 6 or 7, and see,
Yep, I know.
and now I'm pissed. So now I'm unfocused because I've swerved for 2 or 3 laps. So good job, Dylan Nelson. Very cool. Very cool that he still had the Salute to Veterans wrap on.
Yeah.
It was the second coolest one. Shelby Williams was the coolest because it had Mount Rushmore on it and stuff. But I think that those two, because it had the pheasant and that's kind of like the Salute to Veterans thing.
Yeah, and that's they go on the hunt. I think G-Wagon went with them on the
You did,
hunt.
G? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right on.
So producer Garrett, he's got footage of the actual hunt. So, but like I said, Dylan Nelson picking up the win. And,
2-timer.
And like I said, that Lunenburg was there. At the end.
He was. Blake's been super fast all year. Blake, he really has.
Yeah,
and great kid.
Yep.
Great kid.
Great kid.
He is. He's awesome.
And I gotta talk when Dylan drew. I've had this happen a couple times, but this one specifically, he didn't draw the best. And I said, don't worry about it. You won't worry about it when you're in Winter Circle on Saturday night. And then it ended up coming true. So I do tell a lot of guys that to try to make them feel better about the draw, but that one actually worked out.
Yeah, you're the first point of contact. Like when you're like, oh, this guy ruined my day already.
Click
So
224. Sorry.
Gee, thanks,
what do you do?
Right.
All right, moving on to our sport mod division. Jake Sacco picking up his second Super Nationals title, and
rocket,
just dominating fashion,
just an absolute rocket.
And man, I really enjoy watching him drive a car, and you try to watch him because he's just driving like his hair's on fire, right?
He is
but he's making it look like I don't even know how to say it, but it's just like the way he can control the car. Like he'll drive it across the nose of somebody and kind of like you think he's just gonna pile the wall because he's throwing a slider, but he bends it right at the last minute and that thing just kind of rocks up and goes.
So one thing I notice watching him when he comes to Boone, and maybe this is just from where I sit in the tower, maybe it looks different from the pits, from the infield, but when I see him go into the corner, he looks like he backs it up into one, and he but he angles off of one. So it's like he's racing that thing like it's a weird angle.
Drag strip.
Man, is he fast. When he gets to, and he backs that thing up, and again, he's gaining speed across the corner, and he's just picking guys off. I mean, he just makes him look silly.
He does. Jake and I started racing together. I'm his kryptonite. Jake. No, I'm kidding. Jake and I raced for a long time, and he's been in the sport mod class for a long time, and he's one. What works for him, I always try to tell him, like, dude, you just need to slow down a little bit. Like, if you can run the bottom, too.
I don't know if I've ever seen him run the bottom.
He just a few times, and when he does, you bet your ass I get either a Snapchat or a message or whatever, And but Jake drives hard, and he is the guy that if he wrecks you, he will, man up and be like, hey man,
Right.
We're racing. We were racing, and so it's like, it was cool to see him get his second title. They had that thing going good. He's got the young kid. I can't remember his name. Sorry, bud.
Reeds?
Was
it Reeds?
Not Joe. It's this young, real skinny looking kid. I can picture his face right now. He's gonna chew my ass the next time I see him, but he's got him helping him, They got that new baby boy. And Amanda, she supports that thing 100%. Takes a lot,
Dude, I've seen her slinging tires.
Right.
She knows.
She's savage. She's been around it. I mean, Jake is, you can tell that they are a racing family.
Absolutely.
Right. 100%. And be interesting to see what he does next year, because I know he had that I think he had JDR injured driving a modified.
Yep.
I don't know. You might have some insight on what's going on, but it'd be interesting to see what he does.
I mean, I got some insight on it, but I can't reveal that information at this time. It'll breach our contract that we have in place.
I'm guessing it'll be some kind of performer.
No, I mean, I actually heard rumor on the street is he might build a home built deal.
Really?
Wow. Some controversial stuff.
All right.
I may have just breached the contract right there.
You might have.
But no,
Just cut that out.
Don't cut it out. I want Jake to see that. No, but it will be interesting. I think the modified class would fit Jake well just because he drives so hard, and I think that those the modified cars are really demanding for that. And I think that suit would fit him well. I mean, but he might also be trying to go after my record. Good luck.
There's your first bleep, Garrett.
No, whoops, sorry, G.
It's all good. Well, we need a good bleep once in a while.
That's right. But no, for real though, like you said, he's got the talent to do it. If he decides to move up or not, or try to go after Jonathan's 3-time deal. So, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities there, and like I said, he's good at driving that thing.
Yep.
Moving on, stock cars. Jake McBurney, car to beat all week long.
Yeah, that's what I would kind of kidded around last week that we parked him after that qualifier just to make it a little more difficult on him, but we really didn't, Jake. But
what you guys did was you started a fire.
Well, it doesn't take a lot of fire for him in that stock. He is so fast in that stock car. I mean, everywhere he goes, he's very quick. But here, that's something special. And you've known Jake's he's been fast in whatever he sat in at Boone Speedway.
Yeah, but it's that's another Racin second generation driver that lives, eats, breathes, and shits racing.
Right.
And the McBurney camp, they put a lot of effort into their program, and that is what has made them successful, and when he got hooked up with BHE, when BHE went out on their own deal, or not their own deal, I guess, when BHE chose him as their guy, it really, really helped a ton with Jake and everything and all of his sponsors and stuff. He's got a great support system back in that 82 car, and he was, and back to that, we talked about that call, in the last episode, and as a racer, I feel like it was bullshit. He got screwed on that, and then at that point, though, it also shook up the entire race pit area, because shit, what is a good slider?
Right.
Because like in the modifieds and stuff, you get this quarter panel area over somebody's nose. Like, I mean, you get it on the and if this quarter panel goes underneath and whatnot, like that's a bad slider, or is it, or isn't it?
And I'm not going to speak for Grant. I think we should get him on here sometime and talk to him about it. But in my opinion, when somebody comes up across the nose and they hit on the quarter and they force the guy on the outside to have to do something,
to change their lane,
she's dirty.
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
Okay.
And I tell you, that one was close, because like I said, when I saw it live, I didn't agree with it. I did not think it was dirty. When I saw the replay is when I realized what Doug had to do. And because if Doug stays in the gas, they're both junk.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. Well, and see, that's the kind of the controversial part of it too, because like I said, I was standing in turn 3, and there's times that the driver getting slid can find the brake pedal.
Sure.
Which we all know that's not a very common thing, because heat of the moment, or Well, and they've been given the keys because they're told the guy on the outside is not he doesn't have to brake. Right.
So the guy on the inside knows when you do that, it's all on you.
Right.
I've, going back years at Stewart, I had a night where I had to make a call on that, And I mean, it affected friendships for a long time for me. But
but which is bullshit. But
and I agree.
Right.
But you get heated. You get people
Right.
with feelings, and people get heated. And I don't blame them, man. You just junked a car, destroyed it, right? And I totally get that.
yeah.
But it's those are tough calls to make. But again, if we can stay consistent and we can make them the same way
Right.
for everybody, then
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, this
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
this wasn't a jab at her or
No.
anything. It was just as a driver, I thought, well,
100%.
We're supposed to race.
am I scared now to go out and potentially do, just pull a slider like I normally would? I mean, am I going to get black flagged and ruin my whole night?
if Jake is a foot farther forward, he comes up and they hit, and Doug hits him in the back, they continue on.
Right.
That's my opinion.
Right.
Is what it was that close.
But back to what we were talking about with it is, man, did it really piss that camp off in a way to where it's like, you know what? We know we got one of the fastest cars here in the pit area.
There was no other option than to win.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know what? I mean, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but he come back out Thursday night, correct? And put it on the front.
Yeah.
Because he started in the middle on the front.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He
So
came out
the very next night, I mean, he comes out and just goes right back to what he was doing.
Yep.
And leading that race and putting himself in a position to where he could do what he did and win the Super Nationals, and Jake picked up the Super Nationals in, was it 2018
in the sport
or
mod.
17?
Yeah. Would have been
I believe it was a year before I started.
18.
That would have been 18.
18. Yeah.
No, 18.
Yeah, right?
Wasn't 18 Brian F. Camp?
No, I think Brian was 17.
I think
Yeah.
you are
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, Brian
You are
was
correct.
17 and then
so
Jake was
Jake picking up, IMCA Sport Mod Super Nationals in 2018, to add the stock car, the Class 2 Tough to Tame, especially with 300 cars or 293 or whatever it was, that's a very cool thing for that camp, and they deserved it. They were prepared, they were ready, and they showed us.
It speaks to Jake's a wheel man, and I've always, ever since he started racing, I'd see him, and you could tell he had it. But I do want to say, too, that also speaks to the format for Super Nationals and the fact that it gives a guy, you just had your heart ripped out. You get to come back the next day and do it all over again. You get to start fresh. And they did. They wiped it clean. He flushed it, came out, kicked their ass, and then kicked their ass
it
on
did
Saturday.
not affect what they had as a game plan.
Correct.
For sure. And Josh, that's a great point. I mean, I've
And
been
he
in
won
that.
the All-Star race too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he won the Prelude.
He had it going on.
He won the qualifier. He won. The only thing that he didn't win was the race champions.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was
Kevin?
Yeah, it was Vandermark.
Or Vandermark. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was spicy. Vandermark checked out, and it was like rabbits in a foxhole
You was racing.
behind him for a second. Oh, we were racing. Yeah. We had. Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
All right. Last big dance to talk about. IMCA Modifieds. Tim Ward. Guy really turned it on at the end of the year. He's been racing some late model stuff and honestly wasn't that great all year in that thing. Won the Watermelon Classic, and then from then on was just lights out.
Yeah, I don't want to talk a lot of shit about Tim, but just didn't have a Tim Ward year, and I think that time in the late model, and I think they were playing with that.
That's what I was just gonna say. Is I think they focused. I think the late model thing's been a dream. I remember when Tim Ward came out here. You guys remember
Right.
when he came out?
Oh, yeah.
And he was coming in every week, and it was either a sail panel or the entire right side deck panels hanging off that thing. He has shaped into one of the hottest drivers in the modified class.
Dude, and very rarely do you ever see any body panels or anything hanging off that thing. Like, he's one of the, in my opinion, he's one of the cleanest modified racers, and he's fast.
Yeah.
Right. And the two of my wins in my modified class come against Tim Ward. And one was at Boone and one was at Marshalltown. And what I love about Tim is he's weird. In a good way. Like, you go, like, he slide jobbed me. We got together at Marshalltown. I went back in and I'm like, man, don't miss. You know, like, you got to go. I thought he was going to be pissed. I actually kind of almost made him Tony Hawk skateboard 50-50, the dirt berm in Marshalltown. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, that is now gone because of the guardrail. But we get down, and I mean, it was my first modified win. And I pulled down into the victory lane, and I'm cranked up. And I went over to Tim, and I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. He's like, racing, man. You know, like, we had gotten together on a racing circumstance. We were just racing. I don't know if I've ever seen Tim Ward pissed off.
No, and like, almost, I've seen that same exact scenario happen where, you know, he'd had to check up, or somebody picked him with a lap car or something, and, you know, talking to him in the infield after the races, and he's just like, nah, we're racing, you know, whatever.
Well,
it is what it is.
At Boone, we were doing the whole sliding and jibing and everything, and he slides me in 3 and 4, and everybody thought that I stuffed him in the fence, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, I was crowding him, but they show the replay, and he actually bounces off of the fence on his slide job, just got up into that crumbly shit, you know, and sometimes it'll pick that right rear up and just suck you in. Thank God it's not the guardrail anymore, because that thing was dangerous.
Yeah, we got some pictures of that. I mean, we'll get to those.
Dangerous.
We'll get to those.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So, but he bounced back down. I mean, he come over right away and was like, hey, you know, I'm like, Tim, respect, you know. So to see him get 2, which, you know, the late model thing, I mean, I know he's had a little bit of success in that. I haven't followed it much, but I know he's got a couple of wins.
Yeah, he's done okay. It seemed to take away from his modified program.
Oh, for sure.
You know, and then, but yeah, they're
Which
at the
I think
end of
they
the
were
year.
okay with.
And I think so too, because
you know,
I believe he wants to go late model racing.
Right.
And he's talented enough to do it.
He is.
He is.
He
Yeah.
is.
And, you know, I know Rick raced for a long time, you know, and for them to do what they're doing, like a father-son thing, is so cool, because I get to do that with my dad as well. So I can relate to that a little bit. And so to see them, you know, kind of like the Damon and Dallin thing, that to see him progress and get into the late model stuff is really cool. But then, like you said, I mean, he come back here and it was like, where's Tim Ward been all year with his modified, and how fast it is? You know, like, I mean, in the feature the qualifier that he won, I believe he started 10th, and he was in the lead in like 4 laps.
Yeah. Was he running a spec motor?
Yes, he was.
See, I think, they put that. I don't know if he ran it all year or not, but the last few weeks in that thing, he was really good. And, you know, I don't know if that changes. Obviously, it changes dynamics, whether it's nose weight or what, you know, power ratio. So I don't know if that was the answer, what they needed or what. But, like, there again, the last couple weeks, he was super fast.
Super fast. I think that the whole spec motor thing is, when Tim started racing a modified, there was no crates. Mm-hmm. So that was why my dad was just like, you know what, I'm just not going to do it, or if I'm going to do it, I'm only going to race at Boone. I'm going to run an oat motor. Like, he just didn't want to transition.
Yeah,
he thought it was great,
right,
for the racer. But I think that helped Tim. It didn't help him. It just brought him back home, you know. And then he's doing the late model deal that's all open motor stuff too. So it was probably, you know, a good thing for him, good thing for the spec motor, and what IMCA did with that spec motor and bringing it back, because of, you know, just to have another option.
Yeah.
I think you'll see those numbers go up.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I really do. And I think that's a great thing, because it also kind of takes back to the guys that like to build their own stuff.
Yeah.
Or that have time to, or whether it's, even if it's just you get all your rotating stuff and you put all the other stuff on, you know, like people like doing that stuff.
Well, how many backyard mechanics got out of it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
This could bring some of them back.
It definitely could, for sure.
Right.
But, you know, what's really cool about the whole Tim Ward thing, you know, becoming a 2-time winner, there's only other, you know, there's 6 other 2-time winners
I thought you were going to say it.
Yeah. And then, of course, you've got a 3-time winner and a 5-time winner. So, on the list of those people, I'm going to murder this guy's name. Cody, you say it because
Which one? Oh, Mike Frieden.
Mike Frieden, first 2-time winner. Wayne Larson being a 2-time winner. Mark Noble being a 3-time winner. Kevin Stoa being a 2-time winner. Strickler. Richie Gustin, and now T-Dub, and that's a very and my dad at 5. Don't forget him, but that's a very impressive list.
Pretty rich,
Yeah.
rich
of
list.
drivers, and there's a lot of drivers that have only won it one time.
Right.
There's a lot of talent and there's a lot of iron in that list.
Holy moly.
Yeah. Well, and then you have guys that have won it in multiple classes, and
Yep.
it's just, it's tough to do.
Well, and the 4 classes we ran on Saturday night, each one of those guys became a 2-time champion that night, which is I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is wild.
That is really wild.
Yep.
Yeah, Dozer and Sacco.
Yep, that's
Wow.
Jake's
That's a
are in 2
special
different
deal.
classes.
That is pretty cool. I didn't realize that.
And
Yep.
old T-Bud.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, we got through that part.
We
So
did.
that's good.
did.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about before we wrap up? I mean, we're doing good. We're watching our timer. We're closer to where we should be versus an hour and a half like last time. But, that kind of sums up our Super Nationals talk, really. And now we just start inviting people on this bad boy. And
I think our list is right here.
yeah, for sure. I talked to Timmy. He wants to wait till Batesville is done, and then. Speaking of other events, Bobcat Uncut will be at Clash on the Coast, and October 1st they opened up registration for that deal.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Clash on the Coast. They're adding the sport mods this year. Okay? Sport mod guys, you asked for it. You got it. It's there.
Show out.
Support it. Get your registrations in. I think Peyton's got this really cool thing going on. I don't know any of the details on it. Sorry, Peyton. But he's got something going on. Get on there. Support that show. It's, IMCA used to do a Speed Weeks down there. I don't know the years. I wish that I did, but I didn't do my homework on it. But they used to do it. They got rid of it. It's starting to come back. So support it. Get out there. Get up. We're going to be there. G-Wagon and I are going to be there. Josh is going to be there this year. Last year when we were there, it was just, that's where I kind of got my feet wet on being in what these guys do, in a very small portion of it. And I just, Peyton's always trying to make this thing bigger and better. And I tell you what, he puts so many videos out of what's going on. I appreciate
He's very
that.
transparent.
Very,
Yeah.
very.
Yep.
And to you guys, like you guys talking about it, I was texting you about it too, because I'm like, man, I really need to try and find a couple days to get down there. But like for me and my schedule, we have high school state wrestling the first weekend, and then Kellen and Cooper's state wrestling is the next weekend. So I don't know, might try to find a beach day or something to come
tough
down
one.
there. Maybe we can do a watermelons and wood chips podcast from the beach down there.
Ooh.
Even if we have to video you in, we're
Yeah.
doing that.
Jonathan and I will
Okay.
be on the beach.
Yes.
Well, that's what I'm saying, you assholes. I got to find a way. If I got to hitchhike down there or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be killer. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That is a good idea.
But, that's why I don't go to the dirt in December no more. They put it, Cody, get it off of first season deer hunting in Iowa. You had it the first year. We were there. It was a bad time for me because I got way too drunk and puked up tequila. Whitney Anderson got me doing tequila shots. Bad idea. Puked green shit the whole next day. But change that date. There's just things that, what do you do?
Right.
There's only so many things you can get on that schedule. And let's be honest. I love racing, but there's just something about state wrestling that just is different.
Yeah, for sure. And like, obviously, you guys know this. A lot of people probably that are listening or watching don't know this, but like I coach our middle school team and our high school team, and I coach our local wrestling club as well. So like I'm immersed in wrestling stuff. So if I'm able to find a couple days to get down there, it would be awesome. But like I said, it's just that's a really busy time for us, and we live, breathe, like you said, live, breathe shit wrestling, during the winter, even not. Well, and I've missed a couple of the last Salute to Veteran Tour races because my kids got invited to like a national wrestling camp. They take 50 kids out across the country, and he's been invited to it, and we take a few boys and go do that. So yeah, definitely busy.
Pretty hard to turn that down.
Yeah, for sure. So, but like I said, everybody does a great job at Boone Speedway. And like while I'm at camp that day, I'm still on the phone with Josh probably for like 4 hours during the day, like trying to get stuff coordinated. And Jonathan helps with that race too. And but yeah, like to your point, I gotta try and find a couple days to get down there.
Plane tickets are cheap.
Yeah.
They're not that bad.
I was looking them up.
Yeah, I did look them up. Really.
So, and I do want to say too that, Peyton reached out to us. I believe it was Jonathan that might have thrown Colton and I at him and said, "Get these boys down here." But Peyton reached out to us, and they wanted, and I'm not saying anything because I don't know the people that used to do it, but they wanted a little more consistency with some things. They wanted some Boone Speedway flavor.
And that's just a testament of like the Speedway thing. Like what's being seen here during Super Nationals, and that this is the biggest, not venue, but the Super Bowl of racing.
Yeah.
So when you can get a few of those people out of, and do it where it's not affecting any of their other time during the regular race season and plug them into your show and try to get, obviously going to learn something. Try to learn something from the people that they're watching them do this. So I think it's a really cool thing that's going to happen. I think that Babe and Peyton and everybody that's been involved with that whole deal it's just gotten better. This is only the third year. Mm-hmm. So this will be the fourth year this year.
Yeah, I believe so.
So, it takes some time. The Super Nationals wasn't the greatest thing all the time either.
Yeah, and you talked to Lottie about when Super Nationals came here. He's like, Super Nationals lost money for like the first 5 years it was here. Mm-hmm. It takes time to get that established and moving forward. So
there's one thing we got to talk about before we leave. Hawkeye Downs.
Yeah.
Dirt on the Downs.
Dirt on the Downs. Yeah. 100th year of being in racing, been an asphalt track for a long time. Was dirt originally, and doing the dirt thing. The pictures that I've seen.
There's a lot of people there.
There was a lot of people there. There was a lot of behind the scenes things that they did a great job on posting videos of hauling in the dirt and doing everything. Corey Drips and Rick Drips, and I don't know all the other people, but Corey and I are really good friends, and I never talked to him about the Dirt on the Downs thing. Wasn't able to go and support with my own equipment. Would have loved to, but everything that I've heard about it was great.
Yeah, and like I said, I watched some of it, and races were good, and it seemed like the people were really excited about
the mayor was there.
Right.
Could we get the Boone mayor? Has he ever been out here to the racetrack?
Probably not the new one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Okay. The whole that just shows our community in Boone here does support the racetrack.
Yeah.
They do.
We know that, and that's a great thing.
The governor was here this year.
The governor was here. I was here.
Yeah.
That was
super
cool.
Here.
That was really, really cool. Yep. So, but my point to that is to see the amount of support from that on Facebook and everything was just absolutely awesome, because sometimes we all think, I'm pretty sure they had a full field in every class except one. They had 22, but that, is what it is. But for the first night, it wasn't choppy.
Well, and the racing, so the mods chute came from 9th.
Right.
He came from deep, and The track it had character. He had to go top, bottom, and it was a good race. I watched it, and I thought it was really good. I thought they did a hell of a job. When you bring dirt, I don't care if you're putting dirt on dirt. Like, it doesn't act the same. When you put dirt on asphalt, I can't imagine, or on pavement. Like, they did a great job. They really did.
Yeah. So I was just really happy. I wanted to touch base on that a little bit, just because, there's, drips that everybody wants to get, keyboard happy when it comes to racetrack conditions. We've talked about that in the last episode. So I thought it was a great thing. The real question is, how much more support are they going to get this fall?
Hopefully a ton.
Right.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're a ton. I'm not going to be able to make any of them, unfortunately, but I'm going to support it by, getting on and purchasing on IMCA TV.
Yep.
Past that night, folks, if you can't be there, that is the best place to get it, is IMCA TV.
It really is a great way to watch the races.
And I know that they got the really cool camera guys over there, because it's like a cool thing going on. Velvet Lips was there. I heard that,
Mm-hmm. He might have gave me a shout out. I sent him a snap. I was watching it on the computer while I was sitting at home, and he might have gave me I think he gave me a Joshy Reynolds or something like that.
He is savage about that. He's really good about, keeping up on the in the know stuff. So,
there's times where I will text him to slip things in, and then you hear it like 30 seconds later.
He drops it in.
Or you'll hear his phone go ping in the background, and then all of a sudden slid that right in there.
Right.
Oh, Cooter watching at home.
Yep. He's good at that.
So I got two things. I know we talked about Jerry. I want to talk about Jerry a little bit next week, so stay tuned. But we've got to talk about these pictures up here. Now, two of us might have done our homework here. Now, Jonathan might have to bring some next week. It's fine.
If I bring pictures in here, bud, it's going to be
He's going to have a stack of I do have, and I have photo out, and I thought about it before I left. I'm like, no, I'm not even going to open that can of worms. Because we're just going to be sitting there looking at pictures and not talking.
Right.
I just pulled my Bill Olson pictures out, and then I talked about passing Wayne Gifford on the to win my first feature. So I brought those, and I know you brought some.
I got my picture with Bill Olson when I was, I think, a year old, maybe.
Diapers?
Yeah.
Guys.
I got for some reason, I have a Boone Speedway sticker on my back, but that mullet is sick.
Hell yeah.
So, and then this one, I think, is the one where my dad won the mechanics race at BVR, and I flagged it. So, yeah, that's another thing. I used to whip sticks up at Beaver, but back in high school. So, and then, Dad won that mechanics race, and one of the Smiths was still racing hobbies and got in Dave's stock car and drove it off the top of turn 4 coming to the checker. So Dad ended up winning the mechanics race. Oh yeah. Dad goes, I couldn't, because it was Jason's stock car.
He probably couldn't steer it.
He couldn't. He couldn't.
So if you used to whip the sticks, does that mean if the big L is going to be gone one night, we get the little C up there? Or what are we doing?
We could. We could.
Hell yeah.
I'm not beyond that. Yeah, or Rod. Rod used to. So I have pictures. That's another thing I was thinking of. We have pictures of when my dad used to race sprint cars up at Mason City, and there was only one time. Dad won a ton of features up there.
Yeah.
The one time I was gone, it was like '96, and I still remember because we were at my mom's class reunion, and I was super pissed, and I'm still pissed about it today. And
damn it, Michelle.
Yeah, right. And it was the one time that they decided that they were going to take victory lane photos of all the wins he had up there and get pictures, and I was gone. But there is a picture of Rod and Dad in victory lane when Rod was whipping sticks. So we got a couple options.
Hell yeah.
You're really Rod's going to kick your ass. You keep pulling these OG things out like nobody knew that he flagged,
right?
But he did.
I got pictures.
Dude, in Marshalltown, I think they posted a picture of here recently, last couple months or something, and I had to look at it twice. I'm like, oh my God, that's Rod.
Mm-hmm. Right. I do appreciate everybody on that came and got on the, John Strabley posted a really cool picture of when they did the Racing Rascals thing. I honestly think secretly Bill did not like it because he was like, he was there to work,
right,
and flag.
Yeah,
but he always did it for the kids.
He did.
I remember one time when I was doing it. I was getting into it, and I don't even know how old I was, 8, And I remember, that flag's bigger than me, and I'm whipping that son of a bitch, and I whacked him right in the head because I was going, and the Racing Rascals deals was cool. But yeah, the picture that he posted was awesome because it fed right into what we were talking about.
Oh yeah, well yeah, right, exactly. And the thing that I noticed that I looked at was, you guys should go back and look at that picture, and because you can see the catwalk. I wonder what year that is. Maybe John can tell us.
I was trying to look and see who the car was in the background too.
It's hard. Yeah, it was hard to tell, but it just looks so different. Mm-hmm. Because there was nothing.
Yeah.
On, that was all fields.
Right.
Across the road. So I was looking at that. So appreciate everybody that commented on the big bill. What do you call that? G, the little thing that you dropped. What Cody dropped?
Quick hitter.
Yeah,
the reels or the Facebook reel or
whatever. Yeah,
the one hitter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
something like that.
Right. Yeah. That was good.
Yeah. So. Well, and like I said, to Garrett's credit for helping us out, get this thing going, and to the people that have reached out to us on this, we sincerely appreciate it. Like it's been awesome to hear the feedback. I know at some point we're gonna get negative feedback, but like I said,
good.
Yeah, that's fine. Malakote's got 2 L's in it, so
that's right.
Like I just, it's really cool that this thing is kind of taken off after the first episode. We hope it continues. Yeah. Garrett's got us hooked up with Spotify and Apple Podcasts now, so we had people listening in a combine. We had people listening in the combines. Full episodes on YouTube. We'll have Jonathan's one hitters on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff. So, but we're trying our best with this thing, and I hope everybody enjoys it. Actually, somebody did leave a question, and one of the comments. So I got to try and find it real fast because Jonathan said, "Leave your questions in the comments."
Yes, for sure.
I did that just so it'd piss you guys off because I'm not that savvy.
Well, hang on, I'm gonna find it.
Well, while you're looking for that,
keep talking.
I do want to say too, thanks for everybody that shared, liked, everything, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, across the social universe. We really appreciate it, and we like to have fun. We like to joke up here and all that, but in all seriousness, all three of us, we love this sport. We love Boone Speedway. We come and do this. We come and do this because we enjoy it, but we do it because we want to give some people some insight. We want to give some people their flowers. We want this to be good for everybody.
We also want to talk shit.
That too. Too.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Colton's gonna love that.
Oh, yeah, by the way.
I mean, yeah, Walt. Old Thumper. That's what I call him over at Marshtown because every time he turns his microphone on, it's thumping every time, and I'm like, God, don't you think you guys could fix this? All this money you're making over here every week, like, come on.
Yeah, Jerry.
But then I laugh too.
Jerry don't pay us enough.
He's too busy burning fuel on the sheep's foot.
He's getting the sheep's foot. That's for sure.
You guys think he's sheep's footing right now?
Yeah, maybe.
Getting ready for the harvest hustle.
Harvest hustle on
Here
the
in a
high
couple of
banks.
weeks.
Yeah, I think that's a.
Is anybody going to Tipton this weekend? We do have an event coming up. The Dark Side, the Fall Bash.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that a Timmy Current production?
That's a Timmy Current production. Yeah.
Nice.
So if you can't make it down there, the Cedar County Fairgrounds,
found it.
Always an awesome place to go and race. I love racing there. And the people that are putting on the show are great people and they have cool trophies, and they put on one hell of a pit party. And on Saturday they will have. I mean, last year they had a jumbotron there, had the football games on. They had food going, they had bands. I mean, it was. If you have not been to Tipton, go do it. It is a good time. They do not contingency stuff, but like drawings at the drivers' meeting and stuff for the drivers. So
nice.
I'll be excited to talk about that. Next episode. I mean, it's because then what's after Tipton? There isn't much.
Yeah.
RPM.
Yeah.
RPM,
oh, yeah,
and then it'll be RPM is that the second week? Oh, it's this week too. Oh. There you
We'll
go.
have stuff to talk about. Cam Gruber's on a hot streak out there in Kansas. He's got 2 wins in a row.
I seen it. Did you see his snap or his post or whatever about his tire?
Well, I'm sure they were just fantastic shape because he pulls shit out of his shed that's 7 years old.
I was impressed. I'm like, man. But then he
Seasoned?
But then he comes up here and he barely makes the show. I don't get it.
Right. Yeah.
Just kidding, Cam.
Yeah. Oh, man, Cameron. Well,
Yeah, he's had some really shitty luck up here.
Yeah.
That's what
right.
it is.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I seen his tire and it's like, I was like, wow. You know what I mean? But what I appreciate about it, Bud, is you do, put very well detailed stuff on your post or films or whatever. So,
to the question, Wes Richards. So I used to work with Wes at Ty Lube, and he said, "Will they ever open the oil rig bleachers in turn 1 for weekly shows?" Man, that's tough because we typically, I mean, we could try it.
We could. It's something I could bring up.
We just have to have somebody police it.
Yep.
And then we'd get like 7 people over there.
Mm-hmm. That's the whole thing.
Right.
I mean, and maybe.
But maybe people would pay to go up there. I don't know.
Maybe they would.
We
I
could
don't
try it.
know. Yeah.
well, I know. Wait a minute, boys. What is this? Some kind of, is this an increased price for that on a weekly show?
Probably
Wouldn't
not.
it be just a general admission?
Yeah. I wanted to find a way to hook up the catwalk to that. Well, I know a guy that could probably do it. He's got a fabricator sitting next to me. We could hook the oil rig up to the catwalk in turn 1, and then that way they have another set of bleachers they could go sit in.
But what's that guy's name?
Wes Richards.
Wes Richards. There's
Uncle Wester.
Uncle Wester. Yeah, I like it. There's enough catwalk. I mean, really, and the grandstands. Is it? We're gonna need you to reply to this message immediately to Cody personally. Like, is it just a spot that you like over there? Because
We'll
I
just
get
paint
that.
a square in the seat.
I
Well,
like
I'm
season
just
ticket
saying,
holders.
I get it.
Yeah,
but
season ticket holders. We could do
there's
that.
so many, I guess it'd be a grandstand thing. But like you look in the grandstands now on a weekly show, there's nights where it's like, holy crap, there's a lot of people up there. And then there's some nights where it's like
little thinner.
a little thinner. But
Yeah.
the TV things change that.
It has.
And you know what's really weird about that is like, so one day, Haley and I were looking at, stuff from last year to this year. And like, we used like a trend line, like on a graph deal. And it was really weird because you'd see like dips in like peaks and valleys, but they were almost the exact same weekends.
Yeah.
So it's got to be something, you'll have graduations and stuff like that,
Right.
which we can get into that later. But like, yeah, it's weird how the trend lines almost follow each other every week.
My
From
guess, and I
the
don't want
last, and I don't have the data from the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, but like,
right.
I threw an 8 in there.
And a 5.
Yeah. And so, but that would be cool to see if that is like, if that's continuous, But
Yeah. I think
Anyway.
I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I wonder if he's just seeing it empty and thinking, "Oh, that looks, there'd be people."
Yeah, it
sitting
very
up there.
well could be.
That's
Yeah, very well could be.
Could be
I
it.
mean, I guess I don't understand why, or I guess not that I don't understand. I mean, you should. Yeah, I mean, I think you guys should open it up. I mean, because it is a different view over there.
it. Definitely
yeah.
is.
But I mean, I don't know why anybody would want to go walk over there, except for during Super Nationals. The pissers are way further. The food's way further. It just nothing's really good about it during a weekly show.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of a Super Nationals thing, and I also think too, if they saw the catwalk jam packed every night and there wasn't any room for anybody to see the races, then maybe.
Right? Yeah, because technically it is in the pit area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, it is.
So I mean, technically, I do take back what I said earlier about you guys trying to jab us. It is increased
Well,
pricing
Okay. And
because
now,
it is technically in the pit area.
I don't want to go too crazy. It's technically in the pit area at Super Nationals. During weekly shows, it's outside the pit area because our, where the alley is.
Yeah, because the
no,
gate.
it's still the pit area.
Not for
Guys.
weekly.
The catwalk- the
because
catwalk-
it's inside turn.
It's in the
the
gate.
pillars
It
are inside
sits
the gate.
in there, but
Right.
to get up to it, unless the catwalk was hooked to it.
No guy.
Just saying.
Fair.
Also,
But we have to do that after he gets his shop finished.
we
so.
do, and we also. I'm going to tease this for next for the next podcast. We're going to talk about the catwalk a little bit. Got a little, I don't want to call it insider information, but we do have something to talk about with the catwalk.
Yep. I think on that note, well, we were doing good. I'm watching the timer again. We plowed through that thing again. So
yeah, we did.
You might as well throw that damn thing away because
I mean, it's shiny.
Well, no,
Yeah.
Looks nice.
G, we need you to be like,
Crack the whip.
boys,
We got to get him that mic where he talks in our ear,
Yeah.
right?
quit being soft with us.
Give us that producer ear.
well, all right. Before producer Garrett drop kicks all three of us. Thank you, boys. Another one in the books, episode 2. And like I said, as we move forward, we'll try to get more guests and things on. That's kind of our goal here. Obviously, is we want to get some more insight. We got some room over here. We can put G-Wagon's other desk over here, or Josh is already looking at new tables. We can improve our setup. But
That's right.
Again, thank you for everybody for tuning in. Make sure you give us ratings on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on all social media channels. Watermelons, Woodchips, one word on most of that stuff. So we do thank and appreciate you guys for tuning in to yet another episode of Watermelons and Woodchips. We'll see you next week.